What's going on, guys? It's Kyle. Welcome to the Stock Goat YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering the Sofi stock, and we're also going to be covering the overall market. Sofi has a lot of good things going for it right now, heading into these massive catalysts, and it looks like all of these SPAC deals, SPAC transactions, SPAC warrants have now been completed after this video. So whatever the dilution was, whatever the market cap of the company is right now, all of that is priced into the stock already. So we're going to be covering, the warrants. We're going to be covering, Morgan Stanley price target reiteration, and we're just going to be covering, where SoFi could head in the near future. And I'm also going to give you some information about the CEO and some statements he made. So if you feel any of this information is useful, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be keeping you updated daily with all of the SoFi updates and breaking news. And be sure to smash the like button. Let's try and get this video to 1,500 likes, and drop a comment. Are you buying SoFi stock this week on these dips? And remember, guys, I've been telling you, I've been waiting patiently these past 2-3 weeks, and I made my, big buy orders on SoFi last Friday because I felt like the pain was at, the max height of pain. So that's when I decided to buy. It would have been a little bit better to buy this Monday, of course, this morning. But if you bought these past 2-3 business days, you're looking extremely solid for the future. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, we could see all of the indexes were green today. S&P 500 1, Dow almost 2, NASDAQ 1, Russell 2. So all of the indexes are up, guys, and we know exactly why. This is the manipulation inside of the market every other day. This was the Omicron, COVID fears, the media really just hammering down these stocks, getting retail to sell to get these tech valuations down so these big insiders and whales can buy the dip. This is going to be happening for the next 50 years in the stock market, okay? This is how these big whales get in cheap. They spread FUD, they spread fear. And it's pretty simple, okay? Dow jumps nearly 650 points, erasing last week's losses as investors shake off Omicron worries, okay? Boom. There you go, guys. That's why the market is jumping for joy now because, Omicron or whatever it's called, it doesn't hurt anybody. It's not as deadly as they thought. So boom, that's the summary of today's jump in the market, okay? Omicron is nothing, okay? Nobody cares about it now. We can see it's a pretty good time to buy the dip still. The fear greed index is still at 25. It was 20, I believe, on Friday when I told you guys I'm buying, and I, posted that video after hours, of course, but that was some of the lowest fear gauge that we've had in over a year. So we are still at extreme fear, so it looks like this week is still amazing buying opportunities if you've been waiting to buy the dip. We could see Morgan Stanley adjust SoFi Technologies price target to $24 from $25, maintains overweight rating. So they drop the price target by $1, and I just believe that's because of this overall, overvaluation of technology stocks. So, they cut the valuation down by, a couple $100 million or something like that on the market cap. So a $1 decrease, still extremely solid. We still have two other analysts at $30 price targets and another analyst at $28 price targets. So SoFi is extremely undervalued right now, and we'll take a look at some of the valuations later on in the video. And remember, guys, those fair market values of those warrant redemptions, they were $22.38 when they put out the redemption of the warrants. So I do believe anybody that was planning on cashing out on those warrants definitely did so over $20. And I believe a lot of that other selling was retail investors getting shorted by some of these big whales. So I do believe the warrants were cashed out, weeks ago. And a lot of this selling all the way down to the $14 range was definitely retail investors panicking. So right now, all of the warrants have been, finalized, and we have an SEC document right here from the NASDAQ Stock Market LLC exchange, and somebody signed off right here at the bottom, Terrapeta name, and this is the document, the warrants, and SoFi Technologies. There you go, guys. So the warrants are completed today. They were going to be completed on the 6th. Right here, December 6th at 5 o'clock. I'm filming this video right now at 5:06. So any dilution is priced into the stock. If it was 2 to 3%, we're not going to go over that. Whatever the market cap is in the morning, that's what the warrant dilution included. So we're done with the warrants. The SPAC transaction is completed. We can go full force now and get to these upgrades that these analysts have put in the stock at. So for once, I actually like the close into the day. I mean, We were up around 4% at one point today, and we finished about 3.49%, so a pretty strong close. Up in the after hours now that these warrants are completed. So we had a nice dip this morning, about 14.50. That was a great buying opportunity. I spent a lot of my money on Friday buying right around 15. So I would have bought if it dipped even further into the 13s, but I did not buy today. I'm pretty happy on my position. I've been adding to my long-term portfolio. And, my overall average between my two accounts is, I believe, right around like 15.90 right now. So I'm extremely happy. I mean, we have price targets coming in over 30. I'm in for this company for the long term, but I do think, we will break 30, close to the beginning of 2022 very soon. We just need that bank charter approval, and we're going to talk about that in this part of the video. And you guys can see I'm still invested in the stock. I didn't paper hand for a loss or sell. My average is around 15.20 in this account and around 17 in my other account. So guys, the company we continuously hear about with a lower valuation in the lending field is Lending Club, who got a bank charter, guys, in 2020. We could see Lending Club gained bank charter from the OCC, and the bank charter license is really paying off. So understand the OCC was willing to offer Lending Club a banking license. And guys, Lending Club had declining revenues for 5 years. Take a look at this: 1.19 billion, 1.7, 1.1, 1.50, 500 million. So 5 years of declining revenue, all the way under $1 billion. So they were willing to offer Lending Club a banking license with 5 years of declining revenue. That's why the valuation hasn't caught up to Lending Club, to get a valuation like SoFi, because they have not proved themselves. They've only proved themselves for half of 2021. But I'm telling you right now, if you prove that you have the cash on hand, you have the mindset of what you're trying to achieve, and you have the leadership, the OCC is going to offer you a banking license because of your innovation to compete with these big banks in the future, offering investors a wide diversification of products, making their life easier. And that's what these banking licenses are all about. It's leveling the playing field for the technology companies. As SoFi technology dips, institutions are getting a fresh buying opportunity. This is a brand new article that came out today, and this is exactly true. I mean, SoFi dipped over 35%, reaching yearly lows once again back into the 14s. And a lot of things resulted in that sell-off. The offering of the 50 million shares, SoftBank selling 22 million shares right here, Chamath Palihapitiya selling 15%. This is all FUD, guys. This is why I told you guys to take advantage of SoFi on these dips, this past week, last Friday. That's when I decided to take advantage and build up a longer position in the portfolio. We can see here SoFi has massive upside at these valuations. 61% upside with 7 analysts covering the stock. No analysts have initiated a sell. We have 2 slightly bearish analysts considering holds. I don't know what the deal is on that $19 price target from Credit Suisse. Maybe he'll come around, later in next year. But we have massive upside on this stock. 61% upside, guys. And remember, once SoFi gets that bank charter, approval, that license, we may not see a massive pop, that day or that week, but I know that that bank charter is going to get priced in over the course of a couple weeks to a couple months, and that's when you could really see this stock take off into the 30 plus range. My price target is still $55 or higher by the end of the next year, just going off what SoFi has given us as far as growth potential, business segments hitting all of their strides, hitting an inflection point, customer user growth at the second highest level all time. There's a lot of good things going for SoFi. And if you made it to the end of the video, I want to say I really do appreciate it. I enjoy doing these videos for you. SoFi stock is looking extremely solid. If we just go off of that last earnings report, if you need any confidence in the SoFi stock, just take a look at the earnings and listen to the earnings call. The business is hitting an inflection point in all of their different business segments, and they are adding users to the platform at an extremely fast rate. The CEO, Anthony Noto, has a long-term goal of 10 million users within the next 5 years. That would be an average of around 350,000 users added per quarter, for the next 20 quarters. I think that is definitely reasonable. So once again, my price target is $55 or higher by the end of the next year, and I believe the bank charter approval is on the horizon. If you look at SoFi investor presentation, they believe that they can get a, bank charter approval by the end of 2021. They believe banking operations are going to begin in 2021. But because of these lawsuits, that might have pushed them back a month or two. So we might see a bank charter approval by the beginning of the year in January. Once again, my name is Kyle. Hope you have a great day.